Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am the budgeting esthetician, and today I'm going to be doing an unstuffing for my second pay period of September, as well as a condensing and sinking funds update for the month. I am pre-filming this video a bit because I had to do some switching around in my work schedule coming up here, but I still feel like it was just yesterday. I was just doing this video for August. I cannot believe how much September has felt like it has flown by. I will just be doing an unstuffing first here, and then using the cash I unstuffed today to do my condensing with. I will say, for anybody who might be new to my channel, hi, welcome. I am a cashless cash stuffer, so all the money in my envelopes that will be unstuffing and using to condense today are prop bills. They're linked down below if you might be interested in them. And then I have custom made ones from like Etsy sellers for like the $500,000 type of amounts. If you are interested in anything I have purchased from Etsy sellers, every Etsy seller that has anything you see in this video should be linked down below, including Lily Budgets, who does the digital kind of workbook that I work off of here on my iPad. Special shout out to her because I don't want anybody thinking I made this myself and not have her get credit for it. By the way, I don't know if I've made a point to say this before, but I really just want to make sure that everybody knows that you can start budgeting, period, or especially budgeting with this method without an iPad. I know it's kind of the thing on here sometimes to have an iPad, but you can definitely do the same exact thing on just notebook paper or something like that. I have an iPad that I got when I went to school, and so I make use of it because I have it, so I might as well. But please do not feel pressured to go out and buy an iPad to do your budgeting on if that is not something that's in your budget right now. It is not a necessity whatsoever. Anyways, that being said, I think let's just go ahead and get into the video today. So like I said, we'll start with that unstuffing just to show you guys that portion of my budget, because it is crucial to a working budget to track your spending and know not only what money's coming in, but what money's going out. And we will start in my bills and savings binder as always. So we are going to start by pulling out my bills that are due this paycheck. I basically pull out, so all the other spending you see on this expense tracker here is for the previous 2 weeks before I get paid, if that makes sense. But my bills, I kind of pull early from on my expense tracker, and that's just because I do these videos the way that I do them, because this is just to show you guys me pulling them out in one concise video. But yeah, as you can see, the dates of this are completely wrong. This did not technically come out until my next pay period, but I just took it out on this one because it is my second paycheck of September, which I get paid bi-weekly. So the way I do my videos is kind of paycheck 1 is the first half of the month and paycheck 2 is the second half of the month, but it's not really exactly like that, and it should even itself out eventually. But just so you know, that's how I pull my bills out without it being actually time to pull them out, because by the time you see this video, before my next paycheck, they will come out, if that makes sense. So I just rather pull them early than pull them late, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But today we are pulling out the rest of the bills for the month of September. But we will be pulling out my Planet Fitness membership, which is $10 a month, which always comes out on the 17th. My Netflix subscription for $10, which comes out on the 27th. iCloud storage is 99 cents, and that always comes out on the 30th. And then I just consider my rent coming out on the 31st of every month, because that I just pay to my family that I live with. It's not really like a exact like withdraw from my account or what have you. So now that we've marked all those off, we'll just go into my bills envelope here, and let me just grab my calculator real quick. I finally got a cute calculator, so I kind of feel like I might as well do the math here with you guys on how much I have to pull from bills. So again, that Planet Fitness is 10, Netflix also 10, 1 for iCloud, and 300 for rent. I just round up on any number that ends in 99, by the way. And that means we need to pull out $321 from bills today. So we're just going to do these 300s. That's 300, a 20, and this one. And that leaves us with 50, 75, 77 in bills. Okay, and we'll mark all those off on my iPad here. Okay, Planet Fitness, Netflix, iCloud, rent. Perfect. Oh, and by the way, I don't think I said this. I meant to say this before we technically began the unstuffing. But at the end of this, I already did the math, and I should have $956 that I am unstuffing. That is not including what's going to go back to my cushion, because I did underspend a bit. So that's going to go towards my cushion, my overage. But I just want to make sure I've got the right amount first before I go and add that. So debt is not coming out on this paycheck. And then for my variable expenses, which are gas, groceries, and spending, what I do is I add up all my expenses for that particular category, and then I do the math down here based off what the total amount that I budgeted for that category for the pay period. And then I add that all up together, and that's where, like I said, if I underspend, that's the money that goes to my cushion. So we're just going to pull out this full 50 from gas, but as you can hopefully see, I realized in my last video I did not like zoom in enough for you guys to see anything at all. I actually only spent $48.86, so I had $1.14 left over. I did fill up my tank 2 times this last pay period. Some times I do a little bit more driving than others, depending on, things going on in my life and everything. For groceries, I budgeted $250 this pay period, and we're going to pull all that out. But again, as you can hopefully see, I only spent $230.44 this pay period, meaning I had $19.56 left over there. I started not doing HelloFresh anymore during this pay period. So you can see I have it for 1 week, but not the next. So that saved me a bit of money. And that starting next pay period, that budget's going to go down to $200 instead of $250 a paycheck. And then for spending, I always give spending $100. So that's all coming out, but that category I actually overspent on by just $2.60. So nothing crazy, but again, this is why I kind of add these all together, because they can kind of balance each other out, and then they're all left with a zero balance. That's the way I like to do things, but I know everybody does things differently, and that's okay. Personal finance is personal after all. So that is everything for my variable expenses, but I had an additional $3.72 added to my cushion from my sinking funds that I spent from this pay period as well. I also like to add that money to my cushion because I like to add even numbers like 0 or 5 ending numbers to my sinking funds, and I like to pull from them in that way as well. But like in this case, 54.56, I'm just going to pull out that change to make it an even 55, if that makes sense. And then that change ends up going to my cushion to potentially be added to a different category in the future. So hopefully that makes sense as well. So that means that we're going to have a total with all of that put together of $21.82 going to my cushion, which I'm just going to count as $22. But that will get, like I said, added to my cushion at the end here before we do the condensing, because I want to make sure my math is right for the unstuffing today. So before we get into any condensing, we're going to keep unstuffing here. Oh, and by the way, for spending, usually that is just on eating out, or like personal care items like personal hygiene and whatnot. So you can see some like McDonald's and Starbucks. But yeah, most of my spending on this pay period was, just eating out. And then that one thing from Amazon, which anyways, I'm just going to give up on trying to think of what that was. But okay, as far as sinking funds, we have a couple to pull from today, and they are all in my short-term sinking funds binder. Okay, so going alphabetically, we will start with my giving sinking fund. So this is my sinking fund for any money I want to be able to give to others. So my best friend, her daughter's first birthday is coming up in October, and I'm going down to see them and celebrate her birthday. So I had to get her something. Of course, I got her like this really cute, like a thing that helps them as they start to walk. That's kind of like something they can push, and it's got like little things to play on as well, and it kind of can convert into different things, like a little shopping cart or a little stroller. It's really, really neat, and it was only after tax $54.56, which I actually thought was great. Thank you for everybody who gave me suggestions on like a potential gift. I think I said something about that in a previous video, and somebody left a comment actually giving me suggestions. I really appreciate it. So, like I said, I took out an extra 44 cents to my cushion to make that an even $55. So that's what we are pulling today. So I'm just going to take that 50 and this 5, and that is that for giving. And I'll just mark that off here. And I just put these little asterisks here to, I'll erase this one while I'm here, to remind me to talk to you guys about like how I take that money and add it to my cushion. Hopefully that wasn't way too confusing for you guys, but you know. And then in holidays, it is also going to be around Halloween time that I go down there. And my friends and I really like Halloween. So I also bought some things for that. So I got a wig to go with what I'm going to be for Halloween from Amazon for $8.55 for that. Here, maybe zoom in a little bit. And then I bought some drinks for the party, and that was $18.17 from the grocery store. And then I added those together, and again, to make it an even amount, put $3.28 towards my cushion, but this should be $30 coming out of here. So we're just going to take this 20 and this 10, which is great because now we have one of every denomination for the condensing here in a bit. And then I'll cross that off. And yeah, I believe, I crossed this off already. I didn't mean to. I thought we were done with our unstuffing, but we also from Pamper have to pull some money from in here because I did get another massage, and from that we're pulling $150 from here. So I'm just going to pull another $150. I've been really loving getting regular massages lately. Definitely recommend to anybody if you're having any sort of pain anywhere. I mean, there's a lot of other things that help as well, but a massage is really, really nice. And we did a bit of a longer one this time, so the rest of them are not going to probably be this expensive, but I just wanted to make sure I really paid her well for her time. Okay, so that completes everything for our unstuffing today. So we are going to go ahead and count this money and make sure I did everything correctly. And we do have this $956 here. So let's see. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 58, 50, 900, 920, 40, 55, and 6. Perfect. 956. We do have the right amount there. And I think I even, for adding the 22 to cushion, yeah, because I don't have any 2s. So I'll have to even wait until after we do the condensing here to put that money in cushion. Okay, so we are just going to move on to the condensing and sinking funds update here. So unlike last time, I did go ahead and pre-fill in some of the ones that are not changing because I didn't add anything to them this month, which are mainly my emergency funds, ahead and rainy day. I also have a Roth IRA that I'm currently not contributing anything to. Pet care, I'm not stuffing because that's for a future pet and that's just not my top priority as of right now. And then miscellaneous is money that I have saved to go toward my debt. But that's all I have in there, and I didn't add anything to it or use any of it yet. I will start using that next month. So we will go ahead and let's just start back maybe in my expenses and savings binder. And we don't need to condense anything in any of my expenses, but savings. So like I said, this is my ahead fund. That's got 1,500 in there, which is its goal. And then we'll come back to cushion. Rainy day is also fully funded at 1,500. That's 1,000 in the bank and 500 in real cash in there. That's like the only real cash I have, except for a little bit of real cash I keep on hand for like tipping, and sometimes you need real cash. But savings back here did definitely get added to this month. I'm doing the $500 savings challenge from Mary Plans you see up there, which should be completed by the end of this year, which is very exciting. So we ended last month with $260 in here, and now we have 1, 2, 50, 70, 90, 300, 310, 15, and 20. 320 in here, which means we added 60 in here this month, which is perfect because I think that's the amount that I found out I have to add per month minimum to reach that 500 by the end of the year. So in here we're going to keep, we have 320. So we're going to keep these two 100s and a 20, and then this should be 100. 50, 70, 80, 95, 100. It is. So now we should still have 1, 2, 320 in savings. Perfect. And I should have just done this binder last because like I said, we'll have to come back to that for cushion. Moving along to my long-term sinking funds. Annual bills is empty. Let's see up here. Yeah, we ended last month with 100 because we hadn't spent that yet, but both of my annual bills did come out in August. So yeah, that is now empty. And then I think business is right below that. Yep. So business began this month with $10. Now it has 10, 15, and 20, which is positive 10. And that's all going to go down for a 20 in business. Car does not need condensed. I switched around, by the way, my prop bills here because I just like how this one's so much thinner and more flexible and closer to the size of the real cash, or I'm sorry, the other prop bills I have in here. And this one is from Intentional Living. If anybody is curious, she is linked down below, of course. So this does not need condensed, but car's right below that. We started the month with 1,000 and now we have 1,100, which is a positive $100 this month, which is perfect. We are also doing a savings challenge for that one. Okay, home is down here. We began the month with $3.50, and this one's also a savings challenge. I'm going to tone it down a little bit on the savings challenges next year. I do love savings challenges, but yeah, it can be a little bit much. So we're going to keep up with this one, of course, the $5,000 one, to eventually move out. So anyways, in home, we have 1, 2, 3, 50, 70, 90, 4, 10, 30, 45, and 50. So $4.50 now in home, which is a positive 100 in there. So we're going to keep $3.50 so that this should be 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 95, 100. Perfect. So we're just going to grab 100, and this should still be $4.50. 1, 2, 3, $4.50 in home. Okay, moving along to medical, and that is right there. It started with $195, and it now has 150, 70, 90, 210, and 215, which is a positive 20. Oh, I guess I should write 215 first. Positive 20. And let's see, so we're keeping a 100 and a 5, and then this is 110 here, 50, 70, 90, 110. So that's going to all have to go down for a 100 and a 10. So now we in medical still have 1, 2, 10, and 15. Pet care is empty like we discussed before. And then travel, I added back in here some dividers also by Intentional Living. I used to have these in here, but I felt like for my last trip, everything was kind of not really pre-planned very thoroughly, at least. But for next year, I should hopefully probably have a little bit more time to kind of think out exactly what we're doing. So I brought these back out. I have a trip, which is like paying to travel to get to where your destination is, like where you're going for your vacation or whatnot. Stay is for whatever you need to pay to stay there while you're there. So like a hotel, Airbnb, whatever. Food is obviously food for when you're there. And then miscellaneous is just kind of anything else, spending money for like entertainment or whatnot. So I think my goal to have by next year is at least 500. So I think I'm going to make the goal 100 for trip, 100 for stay, 200 for food, and 100 for misc. It's just like a general kind of budget here. And we should have 100 in here. So it's 50, 70, 95, 100. Perfect. And I think, let's see, travel had 50 at the end of last month. So that is an additional $50. So putting all that down for a 100, and we will start next time adding to the stay category until that one also has 100. Okay, perfect. That is it for my long-term sinking funds. Going back into my short-term. These ones I spend out of a little bit more often, a little bit more revolving. So starting up at the top with adventures, that started the month with $0, and now we have $65 in there, which is obviously just a positive 65, and we're just going to switch out these two 5s for a 10, and it still has 65. This is also going to help go towards when I go down to see my friend. Clothing started the month with only $20, and now that has 1, 2, 20, 40, 50, 60, 75, and 80, 280 in there. So that had $260 added to it this month, which unfortunately is going to be spent here, I think, my next paycheck, because I did purchase a lot of clothing recently. So we're going to keep the two 100s and a 20 and a 10, and then this should be 50, 20, 30, 45, and 50. Okay, perfect. Should still have 280, 1, 2, 50, 70, 80. In clothing. Giving, which we just pulled from not that long ago. Started the month with 60. It now has 10, 20, 35, 35. Which is a negative 25. But that is the point of sinking funds, is to spend from them, so it's okay. So these two 10s are just going to go down for a 20 and 20, 35. Still in giving. Okay, holidays, which we also pulled from today. Started the month with 30, and now we're at 5, 10, and 15. Which is a negative 15. And we're just going to put these two 5s down for a 10. Okay, household started the month with 20, and now we have 10. So that's a negative 10. Now they're just going down for a 10. So yeah, don't be alarmed, you guys. I spend out of, like I said, these categories more often. Miscellaneous, like I said, still has 75, and it doesn't need condensed. And then Pamper started the month with 175, and now in there we have 50, 70, 90, 110, 115, 120, and 125. So that is a negative 50, which is impressive since I spent 150 on that massage. So 125. So we're going to keep a 20 and a 5, and this should be 100, 50, 70, 95, 100. Okay, now we have 125 in Pamper. Okay, and then before I go in and do cushion, which is our last category here, I want to count this money and make sure that we still have the $9.56 we started with, to make sure I didn't do anything wrong during the condensing process. So we've got 200, and you know what, I'm going to keep track of this on my calculator. So we had 200 and 100s, 51, 52, 53, 50. In 20s, we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 20, 40, 60, 81, 82, 20, 40, 60, yes, 260. 260 there, 10s. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5s. 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95. 95. And then, yeah, this should just be one here. So that is 956 that we have here. So we did everything correctly. So we are going to go back into cushion. And I forgot that I wasn't going to have the right denominations for this anyway, so I technically could have done this earlier, but oh well, I'm kind of glad I did it this way so I could double check myself. But we should be adding $22 in here. But let's see, what does it have right now? 2, 50, 70, 90, 3, 10, 30, 40, 55, 65, 7, 9, 71, 73, 74. Okay, so it has 375 right now. Because I think what I'm going to do is condense it first and then add back the 22, which I know is probably stupid, but that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to take out 20, 40, 45, 47, 49, and 50 for a $50 bill. 20, 45, 7, 9, and 50. because I like to have 2 of every bill in here, except for 1. Okay, and then that should bring us back to $375 again. 1, 2, 53, 20, 40, 50, 65, 72, 4, and 5. Perfect. And then, like I said, we're going to add back in 20 and a 2, which means that cushion now has 1, 2, 53, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 5, 90, 2, 4, 6, and 7. 397 in my cushion, which I'm going to have to grab my calculator again because I'm going to need it to do the math for me here. So 397 minus 349 is 48. So we added 48 in here this past month, which is great because it's not really an expectation to add money in here. So, but we overspent a bit last month and underspent a bit this month. So that 22, for anybody who's watched my videos before, you probably already know will be getting pulled out and budgeted elsewhere next stuffing. So that completes everything for the unstuffing and condensing today. But to finish off our sinking funds update, I'm gonna bring that calculator right back, and we're gonna add all this up and see how much we have between our sinking funds and savings for the month of September and how that compares to last month. So 65 plus 1500 is 20 plus 1100, 280, 397, 35, 15, 450, 10, 215, 75, 125, 1500, 500, 320, and 100 means we are finishing out the month of September with $6,707. Whoa, which is crazy because I did not realize it was going to be that much, because I know we had some big additions there, but we also had, like I said, we spent a decent amount as well. And I know that that's going to go down by like $400 next month because of, again, I'm going to be spending that money on my clothing, but wow, that's crazy. So, and then we ended last month with $6,194. So subtracting that means we added $513 to my sinking funds and savings just this month, you guys. Wow, that's crazy. And off screen really quick, I'm just going to go ahead and re-add everything up and make sure I did all my math correctly, but you guys don't need to see it again as long as I did do it correctly. So I'll be right back. Okay, yeah, I did my math correct. So wow, that's just crazy. I was really not expecting to add that much in September. That is kind of wild. But that's what's so fun about these videos, you guys. These are probably my favorite videos. They're just so satisfying. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and fan out all the money we unstuffed today. Mine isn't quite as satisfying this way because it's all prop bills, so they're really thin. But that's our stack. And pretty even distribution, honestly, of a lot of, we always have a lot of 5s because I stuff a lot of 5s in my envelopes, but there you go. Well, there you have it, you guys. That was my sinking funds update and condensing for the month of September. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, because of my work schedule being strange, I am not sure what my next video is going to be because I'm either going to have to skip a week and then the next video you will see is my stuffing for my first paycheck of October. Regardless, thank you guys again so much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Our next goal is 200 subscribers, and I'm pretty sure right now as of filming I'm around 180, I want to say. So we are very, very close. So please subscribe if you are interested in continuing to watch content just like this. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and your week until I see you again, and I will see you guys later.